civilization over there. I haven't got too much further to get to my first campsite. It's getting kind of choppy, so I'm decided to be sensible and have a break, because sometimes you have to have a break, right? And I'm going to have my lunch. Leftover bannock bread. Really happy with this. It's gooey goodness. This is literally 600 calories. That's without additives. I'd probably add nuts into it and stuff. Anyway, you don't want to see me eat. What I'm having, in addition to that, is the last of Kitty's gorgeous tamari almonds and Jamaica Delight bar. This is just dates and nuts blended up, so the expiry date's pretty short. You really should make your own. They've added some berries in this. Anyway, as you can see, it's pretty isolated. You could actually rough camp in a lot of spots like this, and later on, maybe next year or the year after, probably the year after, that's probably what I'll be doing, because you can find out of the way places where you're not going to be bothered by any of the fish boats or the odd sea-doo, and really enjoy yourself. Anyway, that's it from Hoople's Cat, having my lunch on my next to last day, which is called the penultimate day. Doodles. So, I'm having a half-hour break. I believe my next campsite is right there, but it could be there, and I'm getting very tired, so I'm going to head in the middle or so and then move up. Yeah, it's been a long paddle. I entered the water at about 6:05 this morning, and I've had the wind in my face most of the way, and I had a couple of minor stops en route. So I'm having a half-hour break here. The reason I'm having a half-hour break is the Mission Life Straw 12 is absolutely fabulous for making water. Can't recommend it highly enough. But you should always have a backup, right? So my backup is in fact water purification tablets. Okay, I don't think there's any Guardia in the water here. It's pretty big lake, because I didn't take enough water bottles. I only brought 2, and that was stupid. Not quite sure what I was thinking of with that, but that's a lesson learned. Make sure you've got plenty of water bottles with the Life Straw 12 so you can fill it up. So yeah, I'm very tired. Way more out of shape than this time last year. This time last year I kind of did the big day straight away, and that made me exhausted. But then with the extra activity after that was pretty good. But this is pretty tiring, and I will be very happy to get to the campsite, put the tent up with the tarp and secure it tightly, because thunderstorms are forecast, and I'm kind of annoyed that I've got to wait another half an hour. But what can you do? They said severe thunderstorms in the afternoon, so I should be at the campsite before the afternoon. Alright, well, if this is my last message because I get hit by lightning or something, love you all. Last campsite, made it. Probably going to overdub this because it's pretty windy. You can definitely tell there's a major thunderstorm coming, but I just want to show you and talk a bit about redundancy. So this is my cooking kit. This came to me from Canadian Sheepdog Jeff. Excellent kit. Cheap obviously, but it's really handling stuff well. I'm really happy with it. Not bad at all, and I like the mesh bag it comes in. Very versatile. The hexamine, not impressed with that at all. Not something I'd ever buy, not something I'll ever carry, I don't think. Single use, it works, but not great. Didn't have to use this yet, and it's a full range kit that was given to me from my sister-in-law, and I thank her very much for that. But today it looked like it might need it, and yeah, I did need it, but I didn't wear it. I hid in the tent. Now, speaking of the tent with Redundancy, like, it's a great tent. I've got it set up and everything ready to go for the storm. But if there is a storm and the tent's destroyed or trees fall down on it or whatever, then what am I going to do? What would you do if your tent gets wrecked? Well, in my case, what I do is I carry a little bivy bag, because you never know. And of course I'm overdubbing this, so you'll have to guess what I really said. Cutlery. I use cutlery now, and I also have in my cutlery chopsticks, because Kitty can't use chopsticks. So because you can't, I have 4, and these make great emergency tent pegs. The water was going great. I'm happy with that. Like I say, my redundancy for that is boiling it with the BioLite, and that's some BioLite fuel, or using tablets. I found that quite good. Instafire, absolutely useless for me. No idea why anybody would carry it. I never will again. And you just carry for the BioLite sticks and keep them in bags, and so you have dry food ready to go. And here you can see I'm going to try again with the Instafire. I've got a big heap of it. I'm using about double the amount you should have. I've already got some stuff in. I've got some tinder underneath it, and this is Instafire, so when the flame hits it, it should catch fire, and it doesn't. Now I'm having a bit of a mess around with the Bic, but you can see the Bic is hitting it and it's not igniting. And it's dry. What's from the Apoca box? I'm only guessing here that perhaps it's ran out of evaporant and it was old stock that Creek got. Either way, I have no time for this. I want stuff that works, not stuff that should work but does not work. So if you have any ideas of that, let me know. I persevered for a long time. This has actually been cut. This is not at all the length of time I spent on this. I spent probably about 3 minutes, and I videoed the whole thing, and I figured it would bore the heck out of everybody, and yep, eventually it catched fire, and of course that was great. So I was waiting for it to burn and heat up the wood and get going, and it went out. Didn't even use it all up. So now I'm going back to my usual tinder, which is toilet roll with a bit of an accelerant, and then I use the Bic on that. And I used a really large amount. It's pretty windy, in fairness to the techniques I'm using, but I still think Instafire should catch under all conditions. That's what I'm paying the money for. That's why I'm carrying the packet, and it just didn't work for me, you know. Now, it was hard to get the accelerant going, but it got going, and I was happy with it. As I said, it was very, very windy, so now I'm looking forward to it catching like it normally would. I'm looking forward to it. So what I ended up doing here was, because it actually failed, if you look on the right, I actually put a wooden board there to actually catch some of the wind, and that was a smart idea. And I also used fire starting materials that BioLite sends with the wood chips, and I thought that was the bee's knees, and it worked just great. And you can watch the flame take off here. This is, to me, what Instafire should be doing, right? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get why it didn't catch. I don't get why on 2 occasions it failed. And, you know, once it's got going, I put a little bit of stuff on it. In this case, a pine cone drenched with pine juice from the pine trees. Great accelerant. Burns too quick, though, so it's a good start base, and then I put stuff on top of it. There you go, starting to build the pyramid. As you can see, you don't really need a heck of a lot of fuel if you're using the BioLite, and that's what I think one of the main advantages of it compared to normal rocket stoves. And I'm also charging materials as well, charging my phone, charging my lights as well, quite adequately. And in the now, that's really important. And in SHTF, to be able to recharge my solar light, I don't know, I think it's really well worth having it. Like I say, it's quick, it's easy, it's not so bad. Practice makes perfect though, and I still need some more practice with the BioLite. I've used it a lot. Now bear in mind the machine I'm using is probably close to 4 years, maybe older now. This is about the 8th expedition overnighter it's been on in that time, and it's working fine. Like I say, in the July of last year, one of the problems I had is I hadn't put the engine in, the fan in properly, and it was jammed, so be careful with it. Anyway, I'm now ready for a cup of tea. Cusa tea, powdered tea that I got from Mountain Equipment Co-op in my mug, and got my boiling water in my kettle to pot. Like I say, it takes about 10 minutes after you get the fire going. Nice cup of tea. Tea should always be foamy. Now the one thing I did wrong here is you're supposed to put the boiling water in first, throw it out so the cup warms up, and then put it in. Now I'm going to have my Mariana dinner. So again, boiling water from the kettle pot, remove, and pour water in to directions and stir. And then seal it up for about 20 minutes. Make sure that all of your garbage in a windy day doesn't get blown around, even the tiny little pieces. Always take out more than you put in. So I'm really pleased with the GoodToGo food range. Very, very happy with that. I mean, to be honest with you, I think that's probably about all I'm going to buy from now on. This is the second year I've tried it. It is pricey. It's about $13 to $14 Canadian for a packet, but the taste is delicious. So now I have to wait for it. 20 minutes. And here I am, fat man on a rock. This is me doing my Danish girl impression. And how's that for a cup of tea, and how's that for a view? So you can see it's starting to get a bit wavy, it's starting to get kind of windy. There are 2 islands, actually 3 islands on my right. So now I'm going to have my dinner. Got my fork, metal fork, no sporks for me anymore. Open it up. Paying no attention to this. When you do this, be careful. It could still be boiling and you could burn yourself. And look at that. Now I'm going to stir it again. And generally speaking, what I do with my food is I just eat them from the packets, and then I keep the packets sealed up and put them in the sealed compartment of the Kayak. Delicious. This is delicious. But so you guys can see it, I'm going to use my trusty burnt pan from Canadian Sheepdog. A little bit more civilized. And again, on a windy day, take your time, make sure that your garbage is all collected up and isn't going to blow around. And that's some garbage I actually collected as well from the campsite. There's very little there. This is a bit of a remote campsite, even though it's really close to the docking area. It's about a mile from the dock. There we go. I'm stirring it around. Thinking, thinking, thinking. Always thinking. Taste, taste, taste. Needs a bit of salt, but it's delicious, hitting the spot. Nice carbs and tomato, fresh stuff. There's no additives in this stuff, so it doesn't last that long, but it's good food. So I decided to use up the last of my olives. So the green olives I just dumped in and then chopped up. Now the black olives, I've spared you this one. The black olives I actually bit into to remove the pits. I guess I could have used a knife, and then spat the black olives into the food. Now bear in mind that doesn't sound very appealing, but also bear in mind it works for me on my own, eating in the wilds without having to do a lot of prep work. And of course, like I say, I didn't show you guys that because you'd hate it. But this was absolutely delicious. But yeah, salt and pepper I'm going to be carrying in future, especially for Kitty. She really loves it. And then after this, enjoyed the food. I went and looked for some loons, and there are the loons. So if you look carefully, you see Mummy Loon, and then you'll see Baby 1 and Baby 2. Dad was very close by as well, and they were practicing. I'm not sure if these are the same breeding pair of loons I saw miles away. I've got a feeling they're not. There's a lot of loons on the lake and they're very active at this time of year. Well, that's it from me. Enjoy. Toodles.